guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Well, the day started out in this case with missing Nancy Guthrie. It started out sort of like I expected, I guess. I didn't believe that the Savannah and the other kids were going to pay the this ransom because you know I went to bed and woke up this morning thinking, you know, like a lot of people were thinking, this is all strange. It didn't seem like you know they had done any proof of life, and my assumptions were considering around 7 p.m. Eastern that you know outlets like TMZ who had the ability to look up at the Bitcoin wallet, but there was no money put in there. And I assumed that, well, the FBI probably gave them advice not to put the money in there. If it was my mom, I gotta tell you, I think I would be fighting with them on that. But I'm sure that they did, and they have been, um, you know, as far as that's concerned. But and then most of the day, started to go by, and then the FBI released some stills from Nancy's Nest camera, which you guys have probably seen these by now, and they creep me out to no possible end. And there's a video, which I'm going to play a little bit of Law and Crime here momentarily. It creeps me out. And of course, the Facebook groups, all that sort of stuff, everyone's really trying to analyze, what we can see of this person of interest, this suspect that appeared at Nancy Guthrie's door in the wee hours. People are saying it looks like a female. I think it's a male, but again, it is kind of hard to tell exactly who this might be. I'm sure that the FBI has a lot of great, photo and analyzing tools that they have been looking at every single detail possible, not just at the mouth when they can see the eyes, the clothing, anything. They have all the latest possible tech to do that. And of course, they have the video. And I started to wonder, well, why is it now, day 10, that we just got this video and then they got these still images? Well, apparently they just got access to them. And that's a scary thing, you guys, because if it took the FBI this long, 10 days later, to get access to Nest footage for someone of, Savannah's mom, she's a celebrity, she's a well-known, person. Can you imagine how long it would take for, anyone else? I mean, it goes to show you, I guess it takes time. But this footage, these stills, started to make me change my mind on, or at least question my assumptions that this was not an abduction or a kidnapping. Because now I'm starting to kind of back down and go, maybe it really was a kidnapping. I mean, how about you guys? Are you starting to kind of wonder, well, this kind of changes some things? I don't know if the ransom has anything to do with it or not. I mean, that could be a whole separate situation altogether, or it may or may not be. I still think it's very odd and suspect that they have been sending those to the media. I mean, that's really strange. But this footage, in my opinion, to me, really is a big deal. And I really hope that somebody recognizes this individual somehow through these bit that we can see of their face, and of course the video footage that has been released that they got these stills from. But let me play a bit of Law and Crime where they actually show the footage and they go through this a little bit of the updates for today. It was also confirmed, and I wanted to make sure I get that out there because I spoke about it yesterday, about Nancy and church. It has been confirmed that she didn't go to church in person, but she attended a live streaming service with some other friends. So she would, I guess, go to another friend's home. So there was a few ladies or folks there. So that to me makes a lot more sense as to why someone would have said, "Hey, Nancy's missing." So that to me kind of helps that side of things, and it has a little more explanation to why someone realized, well, Nancy Guthrie's missing. Where's Nancy? Okay, so this is on the case with Law and Crime. Man, I got this guy at a really crazy face, but anyhow, I'm just gonna go through a bit of this because this was posted not long before I got off from work to do this video, and it kind of goes through the current updates with this Nest surveillance footage.
Big breaking news in the search for Nancy Guthrie. The Pima County Sheriff just released images, pictures, and video of the person who may have taken 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. Get a good look at this video and these pictures. A person in a mask who the sheriff is describing as an armed individual who appears to have tampered with the camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning that she vanished. The person has a backpack on and gloves. The sheriff says that they were only recently able to get these videos and images. The images were recovered from residual data, they say, that might have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of reasons, including the device being removed. The sheriff released the images in a tweet on Tuesday, now 10 days after Nancy disappeared.
Yeah, I guess it's a big deal that they were able to recover these. So obviously, I applaud everyone involved in this case because I really do think that they are working very, very hard to find Nancy. But I want to back it up a bit to show this stuff again, as far as these images go in the video, because this is very important, and I think someone is going to recognize this individual. I mean, it may take, really looking at it, getting some zooms, maybe some clearing it up as much as possible. But I am wary of folks that have started to use this AI editors, to colorize this stuff, and I'm not so sure that that's a good thing. I'm usually pretty anti AI for the most part, so I'm just more cautious, as far as that's concerned, because you don't want to make, this person not look like who he or she really is, and obviously, you can do all kinds of stuff with AI that could make them look completely different. So I muted him so we can just watch this right here. So check it out. So now again, they're going to be analyzing every single bit of this. I don't know why he picked up some branches or what the heck. And it's really hard to see here. But if you zoom in on the photos, looks like he's got a gun holster there. So obviously, if this isn't creepy and scary enough to wake up to in the wee hours of the morning, this masked individual wearing, the scary looking, face mask, but ski mask and all that. It's covering everything but his eyes and his mouth, or her. And they have a gun. I can't imagine the fear that Nancy had when this person came to her door. Obviously, she was probably scared to death, because I know just looking at these images, it freaks me out, for sure. So yeah, he's trying to, like, I guess, block the camera, foliage, which is crazy here. Now, I think people have been wondering, I think that's a flashlight in their mouth. Um, but what do you guys think? I mean, it looks like to me that's a light. I mean, obviously it could be a reflection, but it seems to me it's more of a light because it's sort of like it's reflecting on the camera lens and then it's lighting up, the foliage or whatever this person pulled out of the front of Nancy's house there. And I think examining like the jacket, maybe the backpack, anything of that sort, if they can get details on if there's anything specific on that, you know, is this person wearing anything specific on their wrist? I mean, we can't see their hands because they got these big gloves on, but it makes you wonder what other things can we spot by just looking at this video, look at the image, because is that a watch underneath there, you know and you can see kind of the guns underneath there. So but this is just scary to me. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if I woke up to this person outside my door or coming trying to break into my house, i think i would I'd be freaking out. So I feel horrible for Nancy, and I can really only hope that I'd still like to have the hope, that somehow she's still alive. Maybe they had medication for her ahead of time. I don't know. I mean, if this was planned or not. Again, I think there's just so many questions that we all have. In seeing this now, 10 days later, it really does kind of, change some things, or at the least, it's kind of making us go, whoa, 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 whoa. I think we need to go back and reanalyze some of the time, some of the timeline, and look at some of the other things. And obviously, if we're thinking that, the FBI and the sheriff's office is like, yeah, we are on it, guys. I mean, that's their job and their training. So I'm sure that they are already doing this or already have done this, going back and checking out stuff.
This person other than what you're seeing here, like where they think this person is now or what happened after the cameras were tampered with. We also don't know if this person was the only person captured on surveillance video, just that these are the images that they have been able to recover and release at this time. So I want to break down this first video where you see this person approach the camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door. It almost looks like they're going to knock on the door, and then they try to cover the camera by putting their hand in a fist. Then seconds later, they step back from the camera toward the entryway of the front door. They lean down and they grab flowers or what looks like to be grass or brush.
Yeah, I thought initially that they were looking for like a rock or something to throw at it, to break it. Obviously, they're looking for, obviously, like you said, something to block this camera. I mean, I guess there wasn't much else to grab there. I mean, it's just some flowers or, leaves or something.
Brush. And then there's this second video here where it picks back up with the camera covered by those flowers or brush. And you see the person's knuckles, and then bam, the eyes of the suspect shine right into the camera.
This, to me, look at those eyes. And I know folks, like I said, have been analyzing these still images, this video. And I think that, comparing it to other folks is obviously what they're going to be doing at this point. But I hope people are just really careful about, um, you know, putting people out there saying, "Oh, this is this person." So just be real careful about that, because yeah, the eyes are the eyes to each person are different, and they are telling. But if you're not sure of someone, you could really screw up someone's life by saying, "Oh, this is so and so." Obviously, we've had the Annie's husband. They claim that Ashley Banfield was put it out there that they were stating, someone that she was connected to, stating that he is a person of interest. I, I don't think you could tell who this is, but someone it's gonna stand out to someone. And I think too, whatever they do have and they were able to recover about the way this person moves, I think that's gonna be important as well.
Now, there does appear to be some sort of bright light coming from the person's mouth. Is that a flashlight or is it just some sort of reflection? Now, we are waiting for more information to be provided about this person and law enforcement's next steps in this case, as well as why they believe that the suspect was armed. But there is no doubt that this is the biggest development in this case since law enforcement say that Nancy was abducted 10 days ago. There are also some new details that were confirmed by the Guthrie family. So let's jump into the clarification on how the Guthrie family first learned that Nancy was missing. Now, initially, you may remember the Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanos, said that Nancy didn't show up for church Sunday morning. And that is when, on February 1st, someone contacted the Guthrie family saying that something was wrong because Nancy is a very, very devout woman when it comes to her faith. Savannah Guthrie has talked about her faith in her videos posted on Instagram, as well as in stories that were on the Today Show when they featured Nancy Guthrie. But it has been revealed that Nancy Guthrie actually had not been to church in person since the pandemic. She reportedly stopped worshiping in person when COVID hit, and she hasn't physically returned to church on Sundays. Instead, she worshiped with friends. Now, NBC confirmed this information Tuesday morning that Nancy was supposed to meet with friends to watch a live stream of a church service out of New York on Sunday, February 1st. And when she didn't show up to that gathering, that's when friends contacted Annie Guthrie, who is Nancy's eldest daughter.
So yeah, this is the answer as far as the church service, which was what I was saying earlier. That answers that question, and I'm glad that that got cleared up. That makes a lot more sense to me. And I don't know why they blurred out Annie in that picture, because I believe that's Annie with Savannah and Nancy in that one photo. That's a little strange to me, but I am glad that that cleared that up. We have enough questions, about things about this whole situation with the ransom, the Bitcoin, and all that, which, you know, we still have no idea what's going on with that, and if any of that's related to this person or persons who came to Nancy's door at that point. But knowing that the church was being held at someone's home, that was a gathering, watching a stream from out of state, I think that is very, very important to clarify.
Who also lives in Tucson. Now, Monday night, yesterday, the Pima County Sheriff reiterated they don't have suspects. They don't have a person of interest in this case. But now we have these images, these new images of a potential suspect just released on Tuesday. And on top of that, the FBI released a new statement. Now that statement reads, quote, "For more than a week, FBI agents, analysts, and professional staff have worked around the clock to reunite Nancy Guthrie with her family. The FBI is not aware of any continued communication between the Guthrie family and suspected kidnappers, nor have we identified a suspect or person of interest in this case at this time."
So there we go. Obviously, they could be telling us a fib. They could know more, and they just are not going to tell us. But they're stating that the FBI is not aware of any communication between the suspected kidnappers and the Guthrie kids, the three children, and they don't really have a person of interest. And that's why I think that this new footage that they finally recovered, it is a big thing. It's going to be a game changer, I think, for this case, and I hope it really opens up to finding Nancy Guthrie.
So the FBI's new statement comes right after Savannah Guthrie dropped a new video and a desperate plea on her Instagram, but a different kind of plea than we had seen previously in this case.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
I feel so horrible for Savannah and her brother and her sister. And this is the first time I'm seeing Savannah look, I don't want to say more like herself, obviously, because she's not completely herself. Her mom is missing. And you're not going to be yourself when your mom is gone and you don't know what is going on and where she is and, you know, your loved one. And she's also speaking more, you know, candidly. The other videos that we've seen were pretty much, you know, scripted or rehearsed because the FBI, law enforcement wanted them to say certain things, you know, to make sure that that got out to these, the potential abductors, the potential kidnappers. So I think that this is really, I mean, not that those are not from her heart and from the kids' hearts, but I think this is Savannah really saying, listen, law enforcement is doing really everything they can do, and we just need the public's help to keep, you know, her face out there and just keep your eyes peeled. And obviously, you know, continue prayers for them and for Nancy's safe return. So, again, this is just, it's horrific, and I cannot imagine what they're going through at this point. You know, now, you know, over a week into this horrible, like she said, this is a nightmare for them. So again, what happened to Nancy Guthrie and where is Nancy? I mean, those are to break it down, those are the main couple of questions. There's a lot more involved, obviously, inside of those. But Nancy was obviously taken against her will in some way, and she's either no longer here, or she was, you know, she's being held against her will somewhere because she would want to be with her family. So I'm going to continue to pray, and I'm going to do exactly what Savannah's asking, and we're going to keep Nancy's face out there and hope that things are changing with this new, you know, breaking, you know, images and this video that they were able to salvage from the Nest camera. And hopefully that really does open up a lot of, you know, of tips and brings them to find out where Nancy is and to bring her home. All right, guys, that's all I've got for this one. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.